name? Ian Ziering, from 90210 is on there on the season. And he, he's a Chippendales dancer now. He's like 50, but he looks amazing, by the way, just all over, just gorgeous physically. I mean, like his body's like really nice. Anyway, he had, it's one of those fundraising challenges and they had to do, and so when they do the fundraising challenges, they have to raise money, call on friends and whatever to come and bring them money to give to this charity that they're raising money for. And excuse me, whomever raises the most money, obviously wins the episode. So, and they win all that money for their charity. So anyway, he ended up raising over $300,000 for his charity. Both sides did, actually. And although he lost, anyway, one of the people on the show, I was watching it, and this guy came on and he gave him money, and he said, "Thank you so much. It's going to get a really good cause." And the guy's like, "No problem." And I recognized the guy, and I could not remember who the fuck the guy was. I was like, I know that face. I never forget a face. I'm one of those people who's like a visual memory, like photographic visual memory. And I always remember a face. I never forget it. I may not always know the name right away, but I always know a face if I've seen it before, or I know who it belongs to. I know, I can put it in my mind or whatever somewhere in history. Anyway, so I was watching it and this face popped up and I was like, I know this guy. And I told my husband, I was like, I know that guy. He's like, I don't know who that is. And I was like, I know him. I know I do. He's like, I don't know who it is. I was like, I know him though. Just give me a second. I had to think and I realized finally that he's a porn star. He's a gay porn star. And I was like, oh my God, that's who he is. And he's like bigger. He's like, chunkier now. And he's like, older, 10 years older, but I definitely recognized his face. And then I looked him up and I remembered. Anyway, his name is Brad Benton. He's a gay porn star, and he's been in several movies that I have. That's where I knew him from. So that's why I was like, I know that guy's face. And it was like one of those things where you know someone, like you've met them before in person, and it was the feeling like I knew him. And it was like, I know this guy, like I know him well, and I couldn't remember how, and that's why, because he's a porn star. Anyway, I thought it was kind of weird that Ian Ziering, who's heterosexual, has this gay porn star friend, but apparently he does, which is cool, which means he's open-minded and nice, and that's important. I think that's good. So good for him. What else is going on? Let's see. This weekend we went to see Taken 3, but we got there and the freaking movie was sold out. We usually always buy tickets in advance, but this time we thought, it'll be fine. And we went to eat first, and when we got to the movie theater, it was sold out, and that was fucking pissed me off. But now these days you can actually go to the theater. I don't know if it's this way where you are, but you can always you can get hold on, sorry. Sorry, I was reading something. Now you can reserve your seats, before you go. It doesn't have to be any fancy. I mean, I don't know if it's every theater. I don't think it's every theater. No, definitely not. But the one we go to here, it's called North Park. It's at North Park Mall. It's an AMC theater, which I think are the best theaters, by the way, AMC theaters. It allows you to, when you're online, before the show, and when you get there to order the tickets at the kiosk, if you do it that way, you can pick your seat. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to hurry to get to your movie. You can get there at your leisure. So that's been that way for about a year now, I think, or so. And I love that. But, the tickets at that theater are like $13 or $14 a piece now. It's like crazy. Every year they've gone up $1 over the past like 5 years. It's crazy. They were $10 a ticket, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I guess. And now they're like $14 a ticket. And at another theater, another AMC theater across town, they're only $6 a ticket for a brand new theater. I mean, a brand new show. And it's just really strange to me. And I guess it's because of the area that they're in. North Park's kind of a, wealthy neighborhood. And the other theater, Valley View, is kind of run down, even though it's about to be remodeled. So I think it's probably to do with that. But anyway, it's kind of cool. I don't know if you can do that where you are, but you can where I am, in Dallas, Texas. All right. So I think one more thing I was going to talk about was that I talked about on the show, I don't know, one of the past 10 episodes, I talked on the show about the guy with 2 dicks. And I'm reading his memoir. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Let me look it up here so I can tell you because I highly recommend it. It's really very, very entertaining. And actually, I belong to that Kindle Club thing on Amazon, so you can read any book on their thing that's part of this thing for free or for $10 a month. It's like $9.99 a month, and you can read any of the books and Kindle Unlimited. So any books on this list, which is a lot of books and like bestsellers and everything else are on there. And so you don't have to pay to read the book every time you want. It's basically like a lending library or something. But anyway, it's I'm trying to find the name of the book. So I that's how I got the book. I just ran across it in a list of available titles. Okay, it's called Doubleheader. My Life with Two Penises by Diphalic Dude. And I guess he never tells his real name, actually. I realized I don't know his real name. He's no picture or anything in here, which I guess is because he wants anonymity. But it's a really good book. It's really kind of it's tantalizing. It's very sexual. I mean, it's not for someone who is faint of heart, and it's very interesting and intriguing. It's about his life as a man with two big uncaught dicks attached to one another, hanging between his legs, and about his life and about the bullying and stuff he suffered as a kid in high school, and then about realizing he was bisexual and about the kind of sex he has and about sexual encounters and about, his life and how he came to be who he is. So it's very interesting. So you might want to check that out if you're interested in that kind of stuff. It's just, I'm always interested. I love memoirs. It's my favorite genre of book. So that's what almost all I read are memoirs and biographies and autobiographies. That's pretty much all I read, except nonfiction occasionally. Anyway, that's all for tonight's show. I'll be back tomorrow, the 14th, for show number 11, and I hope to see you then. Thanks a lot for listening. Good night.